Okay, so when we look at this, we're just taking the first thing, the Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, relating to the Cancer, Aquarius moon, and the Sag. So you think the fire and the water, that's both dramatic for both of them. The moons are the different ones. The moons are the ones somewhat at odds with each other. The moon Aquarius knows and is practical, thinking practically. The moon in Taurus knows what they feel, what they want, and how things have to be. Perhaps the moon, you could say the moon in Taurus is a little more spoiled. The moon in Aquarius isn't. Okay. Still, this is a person who could say his wife is a princess without being hit for saying that. Okay. So his daylight increasing, darkness increasing, 7 and 7. 10 darkness increasing, 4 daylight increasing. Hers was 9 and 5, basically similar. 4 spring, 3 summer, 7 autumn, 0 winter. So his least active point is in the winter, but it's not that far from each other right now. Well, 8 male, 6 female. She was 6 male, 8 points female. You have 3 cardinal, 7 fixed, 4 mutable. I think hers was 5, 7, and 2. So, like, again, she has almost as much fixity as he had. Let's go back and check that for a second. Yeah, 6 fixed, 5, 6, 3. Okay, so 5. She was 5 cardinal, 6 fixed, 3 mutable. He's 3, so they're all in the ballpark. Nothing really outstanding or extreme there. His rulerships: 2 for the sun, none for the moon, 2 for Mercury, 4. Venus rules 4 planets, Mars rules 4 planets. What I'm getting, what I'm doing, Jupiter rules 2. Saturn and the moon rule nothing. In her chart, Saturn and the moon were the prime rulerships. They were the planets affecting the most planets. His, they affect the least. Well, you're just seeing anything that stands out. It's a statement of something that would be there between the two of them, or that would stand out in their relationship, in their distinct differences of processing. His strong point is I desire. Hers was I feel, I know, and I analyze. His is I desire. I understand, I balance, I have, I will, but I desire is the theme one. Okay, we get to the houses. Let's move it here a little bit. Yeah, notice houses, 9 below, 3 above. She had 7 above, 5 below. She was stronger above than below. He's stronger below than above. That's funny. He has so much below, yet he's in charge of the armies. He's in charge. He's got a really he's a next in command to be king. He's a really powerful person, but he hasn't made king yet. And so rising and setting, it's 7 setting, 5 rising. She was 7 setting, 5 rising. That's the same. Okay. Sorry, just jumping around. But okay, so intuition, feelings, 7, sensation, 0, thinking. Hers was sensation, was her strong suit. His feeling is a strong suit, even though he's not the Cancer. The feeling quadrant, houses 4, 5, 6 perceive what I'm getting, how I'm getting things back, how I'm responding, what feedback I'm getting from the person. That's the strongest. His ability to interact sensitively or sensibly is 0. There's not any planets, there's no accentuation there. Doesn't mean he can't interact. It's not a strong suit. When we look at the angular, 8 points angular, 4 points succeedent, and 0 cadent. Again, 0 cadent, not adaptable. Pushy, somewhat fixed. Hers was fixed, somewhat pushy. But both of them are not adaptable. Cadent, they don't want to do things differently. They don't want to adapt things, change things, learn things, adapt. Whoa, that's a weak spot between the two of them. Been coming together. He married royalty. She had to come. She came from her family over, and she's in there, and neither of them are ready to make adaptations. They're expecting to be maintained in the same way. Okay, so his highest point, 5 points in security. So his security, his feeling that this is the feeling quadrant, the fourth house of security is really strongly accentuated in his chart. Okay, so that's, now we're going to look at his, just take the same look at his Scorpio sun, the Scorpio with Aquarius pentan and a Gemini subpentan. So he's a Scorpio judgmental who knows what he's doing, the Aquarius, and will do what he feels like, Gemini. But it's rational. There's a very rational undercurrent to his emotions. Hers was Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces was water, water, water. Emotions were clearly emotional. He has, the undercurrent is much more rational, even though her moon is in Aquarius and she can intellectualize her feelings. His sun, it's not as clearly emotional as his, but still he's going to be judgmental. But the Aquarius thing is going to be, I know what I'm doing, I'm the authority. He's going to have that sense in his purpose with that. His hexagrams, gathering together, darkening of the light, and the creative power. So it's, I'm not going to go into this. You can, like, it goes further, but then it totals them all up. You get the totals, we'll take a glance at it. His totals are the biggest one is the Wanderer. There's two maximums with Wanderer and opposition, fire opposed water. You know, like those opposition comes up more times in his chart than anything else, and the Wanderer. So he traveled a lot, but a lot of opposition. Boy, I mean, they had opposition on their first marriage night. They go out on the honeymoon, and he gets up early in the morning and goes out fox hunting, and she doesn't think any animal should be killed. It's an instant, whoa, what a great honeymoon. Wake up, he's gone out to kill some things. I'll be back. You can see how he set up some oppositions. Some of his minimum, there's one minimum, the minimum is the marrying maiden. I'm not sure what that implies, but there's only 2 accentuations in it. But that's the one he has, by his nature, least attached to. Okay, so that's off on a tangent, and it really just funny because we had the charts that were sitting there, but I really worked the pentans around it. So when you're taking, now the next thing you can do, we're not going to concentrate on this, but this is one thing, you add the totals up. You total the 2 charts together. 14 daylight increase, darkness is greater, 14 daylight is greater. 19 darkness increasing, 9 light increasing. So the need to be being more responsible, working together is a stronger theme with this. And you have 5 springs, 9 summer, 10 autumn, 4 winter. So it spreads out. Summer and autumn, the most active, masculine, feminine, 14, 14. Cardinal 8, fixed 13, mutable 7. So in the signs and attitudes, there's some adaptability, but it still has this fixed, determined side to it. The rulerships, 3 for the sun rules 3, moon rules 3, Mercury rules 4, Venus rules 6, Mars rules 5, Jupiter 3, Saturn 4. So Mars and Venus are the stronger rulers, which is mostly from his chart, and Venus and Saturn they're on the lower side, but they're still there, but they're from her side. So there's a polarity between his Mars and Venus. What do I get? What do I do? And what do I have to put up with? Like, okay, so he's looking at the young thing he's marrying, and she's seeing, why did I marry this old geek for? I'm married with power. So, like, I mean, anyways, okay. In terms of looks and appearance, she's not normally the type, he's not normally the type of guy she would accept. He's not the most handsomest guy in the world. He's this established, powerful, rich prince. There it is. He has his benefits, his pluses. It was arranged. She went along with it. But she would have her Moon Saturn processing. He would have his Mars Venus processing. Okay, so he has this perhaps a little more passionate. Hers And his passion, his sense for security created, I need to have this to have my security. So you think, do I have to do this? Okay, like, might be hard enough to sleep, but an older guy. Anyways. Okay, so below 14, 10 above, setting 14, rising 10. No bigger distinctions around this, but when you look at the angular succeeding cadence, there's 13 angular, 11 succeeding, no cadence between them. So even in their charts, when you add them up together, there's no adaptability, or it's not a learning curve. There's not a learning or adjusting or improvising from each other. The rules, the boundaries are set and the powers are there. Okay, then again, this is a composite chart. You can take one person chart together, and it puts basically you put the across the top of the Prince of Wales, Prince Charles's planets and angles, and below it tells you in what her house, like his sun is in her 11th house, his Mercury is in her 10th house, his Venus in her 9th house, his Mars is in her 1st house, like that. His moon is in her 4th house, like that. Her sun is in his 12th house, going down the side on the left. Her Mercury is in his 11th, her Venus is in his 11th, and her Mars is in his 2nd, goes like that. So this is a common thing. It's just this one includes the exact degree, whether it's applying or separating, and the hexagrams that go for the degrees. So this is our program that we hope to get together by the end of the early next year. I hope to have get this available. Okay, now we're going to get some charts using the WinStar, and this is Diana's charts put around in Charles's houses. Charles is on the inside, Diana's on the outside, and then we have Charles's planets in Diana's houses. So you put the person's chart in the inside, and they put the planets put around on it, and then they have the synastry grid, which shows you all the different aspects between the two. On the top is Prince Charles. On the left is it would be Diana's, and all the aspects they don't give you the degrees, it just gives you the main ones depending on how you set the aspects. And really, so it has other things down along here about where they pile up and things like this, but we're not going to use that. We're just looking, we just be this little synastry grid, the top part of this. You see that top part? Just cut it out and made it a bigger. So you have the basic synastry grid. You have the planets, Prince Charles' planets in his own houses, and then on the right of that, you'll see his planets in her houses. So this is the material we're going to work with. Diana's down the center, her planets in her houses, and then into his houses. So you can see that has the composite factors, okay, arranged in this manner. So, okay, this is the matter we're going to work with. We're going to organize it differently. So, but before I want to just go into, take a moment here and just show you how I got these charts from WinStar. From WinStar Pro. Just wait for it to come up. Come on. Okay. So, okay, we're on my chart already. We want to get the Diana's. Okay. I think she's on this level. There she is. Okay, here's her chart. Okay, now we're going to, this is just the classic thing. We go first up here, we click on extended. Okay, we put the extended, we have Princess Diana's chart comes up. On this second chart here, we go into we click this arrow here on the top left. I click there, and it gives us new chart. Get a chance to take a new chart. We're going to use the new chart, and here we're going to try and pick up